All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kafadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who will well tell me his truth. And peace and blessing be to the hopeful elect. On the brother Yashar Kabar, brings you again for another lesson. All right, Lord, willing this lesson be edifying. All right, to the hopeful elect. And we're going to jump straight into it, man. All right, just meditating on a few things. All right, just dealing with these women. All right. As the elders say, hey, the closer we get to the end, all right, you're gonna see a lot of women, all right, approaching brothers, all right, are thirsty for brothers, all right, and they're gonna come from other camps, all right, or just a regular woman, all right, just seeking out the man with his truth, and this is exactly why all right, you shouldn't be trying to seek after a woman, all right, because we know what Isaiah 4:1, all right, says, all right. So therefore, hey, you're supposed to be what focus, in the ministry, man. All right, focus on the truth. All right, focus on doing what you got to do. All right, to please the Lord. The scripture says, "Well, seek out, work out your own salvation." All right, that's what you should be working on. All right, not trying to find a damn woman, start a family, and do the most, man. All right, because those things come with problems, man. All right, and distractions. All right. And most, you better off, being single, all right, and doing what you got to do, man. All right. So before I continue, right, we're gonna jump into First Corinthians. All right. I'm start off with First Corinthians chapter 7. I'm start off with verse 27, and it says, "Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife." All right. So yeah, pretty much, if you do have a wife, right, you bound into a wife, continue doing what you do, All right, but hey, those, who's loose from a wife, seek not after, seek not a wife, you know, continue doing what you got to do, man. All right, hey, in due season, all right, the Lord knows, you know, the Lord knows, all right, what you need, what you want, all right. And there's plenty of brothers, in this ministry, all right, doesn't have wives, doesn't have a woman. All right, why is that? All right, because these women is fucking wicked, man. All right, they see, all right, the light on you. All right, they see the order. They see a real man. You know, hey, and a lot of these women is not ready for that. you know, and they know it. They know it. You know, they see, oh, hey, he's a man. He stands for something, man. I can't come over there. I can't, entangle myself with this man, all right, that's in the spirit. Because they off. They be wicked, man. You know. All right, and it's better off for you, to continue, all right, doing what you do, because a lot of guys, fall into that trap, man. Fall into that trap dealing with these fucking women. So, matter of fact, let me grab a precept, all right? What was it? All right, come on. All right? All right, because this is what's happening. This is what happens, man. All right, so this is Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. It says, "Give not thy strength unto a woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings." And that's what happens. They destroy kings. You give all your strength to a woman. Are you seeking out, trying to please her? You trying to spend all your time and energy with a fucking bitch, man. I'm just gonna say it like that. All right, Jake be too caught up following after behind a fucking woman. All right, and get destroyed because of it. All right, many brothers, can testify and say or say they seen, all right, brothers fall out, or I'm gonna say guys fall out, for chasing after a fucking woman. The woman come around, he lose all type of focus, and he just, fall into the fucking trap, man. All right, and this is why you shouldn't be seeking for a damn woman, all right? Because if you believe, all right, in the scriptures, all right, and believe in what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, saying to you, all right, and the scripture says what? all right, these women is gonna cling, 7 women cling to one man. All right, women, they're gonna come. All right, and they're gonna come for what, a man of the Lord. You know, so you supposed to continue. All right, doing what you do. All right, as a man in the spirit. All right, but it says, "Give not thy strength unto a woman." All right, you don't give your strength unto a woman. All right, you don't give your all. You know, fucking Satan, man. All right, Salaki. Hey, what's up? What's up?
There is a problem. There is the railroad is closed. There's the red light more than 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay there. Nothing move.
Is it a train on the track?
There is a
Mm-hmm.
train, but it's not moved. We just stay more than 4 minutes already.
Yeah.
Can you ask someone what happened?
Yeah, I'll make a call and see what's going on. All right. So let's bounce back to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 27. It says, "Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loose. Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife." Verse 28. "But and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned, and if the virgin marry, she have not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you." You know, right? You're gonna have trouble, in the flesh, man. Are dealing with a woman, arguing, you're gonna bump heads, you know, you're gonna have disagreements. All right, because what? You're a man of the Lord. You're doing the work. You're trying to stay focused. And she, you're not spending enough time and all that type of shit, man. Which men of the Lord doesn't have time for real. All right, but it says verse 29. "But this I say, brethren, the time is short; it remaineth, that both they that have wives be as though they had none." All right. So yeah, even if you have a wife, man, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. All right, but you gotta know how to control. All right, be a man of the house. So let's go back. All right, 29. It says, bring it back. It says, "But this I say, brethren, the time is short. Yeah, the time is short. All right." It says, "It remaineth, that both they that have wives be as though they had none." Yeah, if you do have a wife, man, be as though you had none. You know. All right. Meaning what? You don't pose to let, all right, having a wife get in the way of you doing the work. All right, or you staying focused. And growing in the spirit. All right, in this truth. You know. So be as though you had none. No, you don't let that get in the way of what you got going on. All right, in this truth. All right, because guys lose all type of focus. You know. It's a fucking distraction, man. Hey, you get some box, you get some box, man. And you just keep it moving. All right. So let me see what else. All right, come. Let's jump down to 32. It says, "But I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord." So yeah, they that is unmarried, all right, that don't have a wife, all right, the single brothers or whatever, you single, all right, you care for the things, all right, that belong to the Lord. All right, he's more focused. All right, he's more, all right, let me see. Forgot the word I was going to say. All right, but he's more focused, man. All right, he's more focused on the ministry and doing the work. All right, careful what the Lord ordained him to do for real, man. All right, and I'm speaking to myself too, man, because I feel the same way. I was dealing with a woman. All right, but hey, for years, but after she was gone, all right, after we split up. Hey, I feel way better. All right. You feel way better. All right, well, not having to deal with a fucking woman nagging. I want to spend time with you. All right, complaining and all all that type of shit, man. All right, you feel way better. All right, because what you have more time to focus on this truth. All right, doing the work. All right, staying diligent. All right, having time what to read, study, whatever. All right, whatever that what benefits you. All right, in this truth. So verse 32 says, "But I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife." You know, right? And that's how pretty much it goes, man. You know, you dealing with a woman, all right? You know, you care for the things, all right, just to please her. Maybe she want more time from you, all right? Maybe she want to go out and do this. You know, she trying to set up a trip and all that, some shit that you ain't really got time for, man. As the scripture said, the time is short, all right? So the main point is what? You know, hey, don't be too caught up trying to seek after a fucking woman, man. You know, because it makes me think about, it was a guy back in the day, you know, when we was coming in, right, in this truth, we was learning and everything. It was a guy who was claiming to be IUIC, all right, and he was always trying to bring up, you know, he's searching for a Judite woman. I want a Judite, you know. To this day, me and the brothers still be repeating it sometimes, all right. You know, hey, and that's what you don't want to be, you know, caught up into, all right. You know, coming in for the wrong reasons, you know, trying to start a family, trying to find an Israelite woman. And, man, you better off finding a woman that don't even know, all right, about this truth. You know, all she needs to know is what to serve you. That's it. All right. I had time to try to break down the scriptures to a damn woman. I know these fucking women is bugged out. You know, caught off into the world. You know, it's just worldly, man. You know, all right, but the Lord is preparing, all right, brothers, for the true, all right, true women, all right, the women that's going to be, all right, saved, all right. The Lord's preparing you brothers, man, all right. But what those brothers that endure to the end, all right, the elect, all right, those women is getting prepared, all right, the true, the righteous woman, all right, the woman that's ready to truly serve, all right, her husband, all right, not according to to this world, all right. You know, so hey, hey, focus on hey, doing the work, man. You know, focus on the ministry. All right, this truth. All right, because the time is short. Right? We in a time of trying to seek out the fucking woman, start a family, and all that. You know what comes with it, man. All right. So was that it? All right, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. All right, yeah, that was it. So with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying. We give all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and give double honors to the elders and apostles who read millstone. Till next time, say shalom.